Nobody. 7 hours. You know that they will not give you price any amount of hours to sleep. So if you like, no answer. 7 hours. How many of you slept 7 hours? 7 hours. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. 6 hours. Oh, wow. Okay. 5 hours. Okay, nice. 4 hours. Anything that is getting to 4 hours and below, you will arrange. Why are you not sleeping? Why are you not sleeping? 4 hours. Okay, 3 hours. Who slept for 3 hours? Okay, because not everybody answered. Who slept for 3 hours? If you slept for 2 hours and below, we put bed for you here now. You will lie down here and sleep. Because a lot of people don't believe in sleep. Why? Because one motivational speaker told you, you know, in your life, the amount of hours you used to sleep will determine, then you will not sleep. Please, let me tell you what I say, neighbor, say sleep. Tell your neighbor, say neighbor, look at them, high bump to high bump. Say neighbor, I'm talking to you. The way I'm looking at your eye, you are not sleeping. And they say, why? Tell your neighbor, say neighbor, the challenges that we are facing, lack of sleep will not fix it. Please sleep. Fathers, I encourage you to sleep. Mothers, I encourage you to sleep. Okay? So we're looking at that, and we're looking at mental health awareness, prevention, and decriminalizing of attempted suicide. How many of you know one person or a story of somebody that committed suicide? How many of you know at least one story? Oh, I know a lot. In this Nigeria, not even far away. What could lead somebody to commit suicide at 26? How terrible can the condition be? It's not exercise. It's not exercise. It's not exercise. Bring about you. I'll be eating about you. Be doing push-up. Let's see. No. All right. So you exercise, right? Okay. But please don't confuse work stress with exercise. That you carry buckets, that you cook for the whole village, all right? That you wash the house or you wash the car is not exercise. Exercise is exercise. All right? Our married man in the house, that you carry your wife is not exercise. Okay? So please, exercise is exercise. Exploring the indispensability of exercise in promoting health and longevity. See, the idea of exercise is make it a habit. Don't wait for there to be a problem before you think about exercise. Start today. The more you work, the more you should exercise. That's how it's supposed to be, guys, and all that. So please, let's get ready. If you are somebody who is expecting to bring some other people, please call them up because we're starting. And we're not waiting anymore. And I'd like to appreciate our speakers for coming early. So we're going to swing into it. And also remember that we are streaming live. So there's an international audience watching you, all right, watching all of us, okay? All right, I'd like to begin. Okay, once again, I want to apologize for the delay, especially to our speakers also. We didn't intend it to be like this. So it's important that we apologize again and again. It's time to move to the first session, okay? And the first session is about resilience and coping strategies for a changing Nigeria. This topic was specially designed. If you notice, they said changing Nigeria. There are people that believe that Nigeria cannot change, but I'm not one of them. Are you one of them? Or if it's going to change, it's going to change for the better. All right, because so long as we are here, Nigeria has to change. I have another question. Please, how many of you believe that you don't need to japa before you make it in this life? How many of you think so? So the rest of you want to japa me, you will not get visa. Until you say, I don't believe in japa before you get that visa. What's that? Can you not just travel and come back? Must you go and stay? They will give you a visa to another country. All right, so at this point, to come and talk with us about resilience and coping strategies for a changing Nigeria. Oh, okay. Apologize for that. Yes, very important that we recognize and appreciate our country. So before that, let's take the national anthem. Cameraman, please, I have a assignment for you. Be going around to be watching people's mouths. Anybody that's shopping mouth in this anthem, we will put them online. All right, so the anthem, DJ, ready? Can we stand to our feet, please? Let's honor our country. It's the new anthem we're singing. It's not Arise or Come Trust. Okay. Okay, the old that is new. Thank you. Are we ready? After the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. That we need to check the mental health of the DJ because I don't understand what is going on. But you know, it saves some of us. There are some people they didn't know the word, they were just shaking their head and they say, camera, I want to camera. Ha! Please try and learn the anthem. Let it not be as if when you go to one country like that, they say, can you sing for us your country's anthem to prove that you are Nigerian? You not be like, actually, please, let me tell you the truth. I know the old one. I don't know the new one that was the old one. So learn the anthem, okay? It's just one stanza. Are we taking the foundation anthem or maybe later? Okay, later then. Okay. So time for us to start with the first lecture. All right. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this special gentleman that is coming to talk to us. Okay. He is giving us great information as we require. I'll just give you a bit of a read of who he is so that you can know why he's the one that is talking to us about this. He's a dedicated social worker and a youth advocate with over 25 years of experience. I think you should put your hands together for that. If you hear something, remember I said you should clap as if, is this clap? He began his career in Sierra Leone, where he served as a part-time lecturer at the Institute of Public Administration and Management, that's IPAM, then also University of Sierra Leone. During his time there, he also worked psychosocial consultant. Psychosocial consultant for various non-governmental organizations. Upon returning to Nigeria, he founded and currently serves as the executive director of TAR Initiative, a non-governmental organization focused on mental health awareness, trauma healing, psychosocial support, and community peace building. Oh, I think that's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not clapping. What is the problem? Association of Social Workers, NASSAU, where he continues to contribute to the development of social work in Nigeria. With a lot of excitement, I'd like you to make welcome our first speaker for today. His name. You're clapping very well. What did you do? Are you offended us? Don't be offended. There's forgiveness there. He's coming to talk to us. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Sir Onekwe Francis Nnadozie. I hope I got it right. If I didn't, you correct me. He's the founder of TAR Initiative. Please keep clapping until he gets here. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do you have the slide? I sent it last night. You need it? Sorry.
Okay, so we're just trying to fix the slides so that when he's hello. Okay, so he's trying to fix the slide so that when he's talking to us, we can also pay attention. Please watch the screen. All right, I'm very concerned about that forgiveness therapy because there are people that are trying me and they're owing me money, so I don't know how to forgive them. Okay, so God will help me today.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. While we wait for the slide, let me talk a little bit on one or two things the MC mentioned. He said you need to understand more on psychosocial. Psychosocial is services we render to people that are distressed, under humanitarian service. People that have gone through disaster, traumatic experience, and things like that. And psycho means the internal aspect of every human being. And the social is your relationship with your society, your environment, and things like that. When you provide a psycho, the psycho has to do with the mental health and the dealing with the trauma aspect of it. Then the social is the provision of the social amenities and social support. Then on forgiveness therapy, yes. As a trauma counselor, there's no way you do trauma work without peace building, and there's no way you do peace building without doing forgiveness. It's a holistic package. Okay? A lot of people tell you they have healed from their past traumatic experiences, but they have not been healed from the forgiveness side of it. Unforgiveness is holding a lot of people hostage, but they think they have forgiven. A lot of people float under reconciliation thinking they have forgiven when they have not forgiven. It's just a trigger. The whole thing will start showing up again. Are we ready, sir? Okay, no, thank you. So, and it's not only when forgiveness is preached in the church that people tell you they have forgiven. No, I had cases when somebody told me I forgave my father the day our pastor preached in the church. I said, okay, no problem, but can we do this exercise? She agreed. We started. 3 days after, she started crying. She thought she has forgiven this man. She didn't know she's still holding on to it. It's not easy to let go. We embrace it. We romance it. We love it so much. And the load is heavy on us. We keep moving. We say we are moving. But are you moving positively or negatively? Until such a day it will weigh you down. So it's important we let go. We learn how to let go. Are you there, sir? Hello? All right. Okay, can I start? Okay. I'm talking on resilience and coping strategy in this changing Nigeria and changing world. You will agree with me that the world we're in is changing. Nigeria is changing. We are going through a lot of economic hardship. We are going through insecurity. We are going through a lot. Our roads are not good. People are getting involved in accidents. So the world, Nigeria, is changing. And how do we cope with this changing environment, with this changing situation? That is the reason why we need to understand what resilience is. Resilience is one of the coping strategies. Resilience is what we need to survive in this trial. This is what we need to move on positively. A lot of people are here, yes. And when you ask them, how are you? They are fine. I'm moving on. How are you moving on? They may not be able to explain. Some are moving on negatively and not positively. So we need to move on positively, and we need to learn how to move on positively. Are we together? So what is resilience? Understanding resilience. This is the process of adapting well in the face of the adversity, trauma, tragedy, threat. Eh? Hello, is it standing? Okay, you raise it up again. Now, these things happen to us as human beings. When there is adversity, when we face trauma, when we face challenges in life, we break down. We break down emotionally, we break down physically, we break down spiritually. Even when your pastor does something you don't like, you tend to hate the church. You break down spiritually. Now, to some people, somebody will help them to get up. That breaking down is falling. Okay? Now, somebody will help them to get up as you help that water to get up. Am I right? Then some people get up on their own. For the fact that you have gotten up, you bounced back, you move on with your life positively, it's resilience. Are we together? Hello? Am I communicating? You do. But the important thing, as you have failed, are you able to get up? That is bouncing back. Hello? Am I communicating? Nobody is answering. Am I talking to myself? Is it because of the slide? I can talk without the slide. Now we have types of resilience. We have emotional resilience, psychological resilience, social and physical resilience. Sometimes we are weak emotionally, and it tells on our physical body. And most times we are not able to explain why we are weak physically, because our emotion has been affected. Our emotion has been trampled upon. We get discouraged. That's what we call psychosomatic pain, psychosomatic issues. Simple definition is structure. It depends on your brain. That is why when you born children, you don't, that most times when people are pregnant, women are pregnant, they advise them, doctors advise them not to take alcohol, not to smoke. Some of these things affect the brain of the children, not to form properly. Are we together? And some of these children, when we even born them, we don't even help them to grow properly. We build in them low self-esteem. And some of these things, low self-esteem, affects our resilience nature. Not that those who have low self-esteem cannot be resilient. They can. Okay? Some people are introverts. Some of them, when they break down, they find it difficult to adjust. So the extroverts also, some of them cannot be resilient. Some are resilient. Okay? Now let's look at the learn factors, the ones we learn, life experience. And what is this life? Those are life-threatening. Those are adversities. But we go through them. We have come into democracy. We are facing challenges. Challenges of snatching, vote not being counted, you're being denied the right to vote. These are challenges. Challenges of economic situation, hardship, insecurity, kidnapping, everywhere. Now, how do we maneuver through these things? It's through resilience. We have to learn how to become resilient so that we survive through it. It's a social support. Strong social connections and supportive relationships can help individuals develop resilience. We all need social support. Anywhere we find ourselves. Some people find social support in their churches, in their mosque, in their communities. Some people find social support in a small gathering. And that social support helps us a lot. Because in the social support, we talk about our experiences, some of the adversities we have gone through in life. And somebody will tell you, when this thing happened to me, this I maneuvered it. So we learn from there. So we all need social support. Don't be a lone ranger. Don't isolate yourself. Are we together? Am I communicating? Coping skills and strategies. We need to learn effective coping skills such as problem solving, emotional regulation, and self-care can enhance resilience. Emotional regulation is very, very important because a lot of us who are emotional human beings, we don't even know how to control our emotions. So many of us, when there was a research that came out some time ago that said that over 60-70 million Nigerians have mental health issues. People started shouting that is a lie. Now, when we talk about mental health, we are not talking about mad people. We are talking about you and me. How we navigate through our daily stress, how we support one another, how we cope in our workplaces and in our communities, in our homes. Without mental health, there's no physical health. So we need to be checking them from time to time. How you go to hospital to check, do diagnosis about whether you have malaria or typhoid, you need to also check your mental health. For example, look about this emotional regulation. When there is a trigger of your emotion, who is in control? Who is in charge? Who can tell me? When you're angered, who is in charge? Who is in control? Who can tell me? Be brave enough. Your brain. Your brain is in charge. Your brain is in charge of everything. But at that point when somebody angers you, what is your reaction? Is the anger in control or you are in control of the anger? The anger is in control of most people. The emotion is in control of most people. But when you get to the point where you control your emotion, when you get to that level where you control your anger, then you are mentally stable. If you cannot control them, you have a mental health issue and you need to seek for help. We are not saying you are mad. When you are stressed, when anxiety comes up, who is in charge? Anxiety takes over you. Stress takes over you. Then you have a mental imbalance. Okay? But if you are in charge, then you are in control. Your mental health is balanced. And that is why we are here today, to create an awareness how you can balance your mental health, how you can create a balance with your well-being, how you can create a balance with your emotion, your anger, your anxiety, so that you move on positively with life. Are we together? All right. Training and interventions as a resilience training program can help individuals develop resilience skills like we're doing here today. Although this is just like a conference, it's not typical training. If it's a typical training, there are some exercises we will do, you understand better. Now, why is resilience so important? Okay, you're still battling with this thing. It's a case, so don't let it be in control of you, control it. Why is resilience so important to our mental health, to our life? When you experience adversity or stress, you may feel anger, you may feel grief, you may feel pain. Resilient people can keep functioning both physically and psychologically. Resilience helps us to survive. It also helps us to grow and develop. Resilient people can keep functioning both physically and psychologically. So, physically and psychologically. Have lower levels of depression. If you are resilient, you will have lower levels of depression. Because when that signs are coming, you'll be able to checkmate it. I won't mention the name. He was a trader. But there was a war, and he has his two hands amputated. He started campaigning, formed an NGO, leading the road for advocacy for disabled people in this country. And today, he is now an NGO worker. He's something in you. So this is what happens when we are resilient. It harnesses inner strength that helps us rebound. Resilience, a core competence of stress management. When you are resilient enough, you'll be able to manage your stress. You'll be able to manage your stress. You don't need anybody to help you manage your stress. That time you are in charge of stress. And I want us, as we are living here today, ask yourself this question. Can I manage my stress level? Can I manage my emotion? There's no harm seeking for help. Counselors, therapists are there to guide you. They are not there to give you, say this is the solution to your problem. They will just prefer solutions. You make your choice and move on. And when they have empowered you, you don't need to come to them every day for that. A resilient person is likely to recognize and manage their own feelings and understand the feelings of others. Yes, I can manage my feeling and understand what I feel. This is a common language in Nigeria. But when you are resilient enough, I can manage my own feeling and also understand how you feel. Self-independence and self-worth from the main form and maintain positive, mutually respectful relationship with others. How is your relationship with others? How is it like? Be able to solve problems and make informed decisions, have a sense of purpose and goals for the future. Now, what do you do, or what do you suggest that others should do to help build resilience? What do we do to help build resilience? Or what do you suggest others do to help build resilience? 1, self-care. We've mentioned self-care before. Self-care is very, very important in everybody's life. And self-care is not self-harm. It's not selfishness, okay? If you're taking care of yourself, you're not being selfish. It's important we take care of ourselves, especially those in the helping profession. Especially those in the helping profession. You remember those days when we were small, when they used to say that psychiatric doctors also behave like mad people. Who remembers that? It's not that they behave like bad people per se. It's just that the story they hear from those people transfers to them. Okay? And they also need to take care of themselves, find a way to offload those things from their emotion. Are we together? So if you don't, it gets stuck in you, and it will affect you one way or the other. So that is why we all need to take care of ourselves. Because you come out today, you have issues with driver, you have issue with your colleague in the office, and you go home with it. And you bottle it up without discharging it. You are the one suffering, not that person. Are we together? Okay? This is where also we need to let go. Because some of us, the kind of baggages you're carrying, from when you are maybe 5 years in now, is excess luggage. In fact, some of you are in self-prison, self-custody. So we need to start letting go some of these things. Spirituality, we need to also, grow our spirituality. It doesn't matter what you believe. Storm blowing, okay? Heavy storm blowing, and when it blows, you see some trees, even coconut or palm trees. When there's heavy rain, what do you see? See some trees, they go like this. Am I right? They go like they want to break, and some of them comes up. Am I right? And some of them, when they go like that, they break. They don't come up. Are we together? That is resilience. That tree is a resilient tree. The tree that comes up is a resilient tree. And that is what is expected of each and every one of us. No matter the adversity, no matter the pressure, no matter the stress, when you feel you're going down, try to bounce back and move on positively. Okay? All right. Developing self-awareness, emotional regulation, cultivating support networks, practice mindfulness and self-care. I've mentioned it before. Fostering a growth mindset and optimism. Examples, resilience training programs, mindfulness interventions. Now, what are some of the coping strategies? Some of the coping strategies are: 1, problem focus. We do our normal daily devotion, we eat, we jump out, we go and quarrel and come back and sleep. No self-appraisal. You don't ask yourself questions. Thank you. In organizations, they do what they call monitoring and evaluation. How many of us monitor and evaluate ourselves? When you do self-care, practice self-care, you are monitoring yourself. When you do self-appraisal, mindfulness, you are evaluating yourself. How is my life like since I was born, since I graduated? Some people, out of that anger, they will carry it from that. Maybe people, you are provoked in Ibadan. You boarded a vehicle in Ibadan to come to Abuja, and the conductors there got you angered. You flee up. You flee up and you bottle it up and you come back home. How many miles? You come back home and you transfer it to your children. Is that a good thing? That means you don't practice self-care. You're not resilient enough. You don't know what to do when challenges come, when adversities come. So we need to be conscious of what we do. We need to be mindful of what we do. But what I notice in Nigeria is that people are not considerate. Sorry to say this. We are not considerate people. I've seen it. In fact, abnormality have taken over normality in Nigeria. What we do today in Nigeria is abnormality. Now, because of this fuel crisis, people have taken one-way driving as a normal thing. Even in the morning, during the day, you see them driving against the traffic with confidence, with impunity. Government is not providing. Government is not providing. But the little they provided, are you taking care of it? No. Then you have a mental health issue. You see the red light is showing and you are here and it's by that door and you start speeding, firing to beat it. And you tell me you're okay. You're not okay. You're not okay. You see public fund given to you. You go and take peanut and execute a project and they start clapping for you and you carry the bulk of it. You say you're a senator, you're a House of Rep member and you're okay mentally, you're not okay mentally. That one is meant for the people. Give it to them. Release it. And then we have to bring this thing down to the community level, down to the lowest level so that people will understand it. We don't need to use big grammar to scare people away. And this thing starts when you're small. How they grew up. Your behavior today will tell me your background. Yes. Thanks, sir. He didn't give the people coming late time. No wahala. We are talking about coping strategy. Then we talk about avoidance coping. Avoidance coping, recognizing unhealthy coping mechanisms. Example, substance abuse. I made mention of it earlier. There's what we call healthy avoidance. But make sure if you're avoiding somebody or avoiding something, make sure it is healthy. Okay? And don't form it a habit. Because before you know it, you start withdrawing. Let it be a healthy avoidance. From that thing you know that is not good. You want to cope. But you say you want to cope with drink, alcohol, or drug, substance abuse. It's not healthy coping mechanism. It's temporary. Because when it clears your eyes, the problem is still there. You've not solved it. It's just like a situation, you go back to your house now, maybe you are living in a one-room apartment. As you open your door, you see a snake in your room. And you close the door and run away. After 2-3 hours, you come back and stay there. Have the problem been solved? No. Find a way to take the snake out of that place. Either you open the door, the snake escape, or you kill it. Am I right? So this is what happens to us. We shy away from problems. We shy away from issues and start talking about other things. Most times we focus on individuals. Okay, we talk about self-care. No, self-care is not selfishness. Healthy boundaries. We need to create healthy boundaries. In everything you do in life, create healthy boundaries. We don't say you don't need to associate with people. Associate with people. Create a relationship. But let there be healthy ones. Recommendations. Policy changes to support resilience building initiatives. Community-based programs promoting social connections. Integration of resilience training in education at community level. Establish resilience support group to learn and share experiences. Appraisal at individual, family and community level. Now, I have a last question for us. My last question is this. Having heard what I said, are you a resilient person? How resilient are you? Keep going over that question until we meet at the time of question and answer. I still remain Francis Onyekwe. Thank you very much.
Please, can we celebrate him one more time? I was not sure whether he was a pastor or he was a mental health coach, because we hear a lot of these things in church for those of us that are Christians, and yes, you hear it in mosques too, you hear it everywhere, and it's a conversation that is ongoing. I noted some things, all right, and by the way, there is a question and answer session coming up later, so please prepare your questions and answers. We just want to all right. It's just mental health, checking on your state of mind. I do know that we have coped with so many things in this country that we don't even know whether it's right or wrong. How will somebody just think that he's the owner of the road and just be doing what he likes? Like he said, beating traffic, or there are many reasons why people also beat traffic. By 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, if you see there are some areas, if the lights stop, they will advise you don't stop. Somebody will come out from the bush. They will collect your phone. So now, which one is the mental health problem now? Is it the person that didn't stop, or the person that came out of the bush? We have to investigate. Question and answer, you see? So mental health. Please don't think that what we're going through as a country, I always say something on air, being a broadcast journalist, I'll say corruption is not a leadership problem, it's a Nigerian problem. So don't be quick to say, hey, I knew it. Our leaders have mental health issues. Your colleagues, you and your office people, what's going on in that office? Is everybody normal? How that abnormality has not been made normal is the big issue. All right, Mr. Media Guy, are you ready? Almost ready. Okay, so I highlighted some things while I was preparing for the next talk. He talked about trauma, tragedy, stress. He talked about when angry, what takes over. Answer that question by yourself. When as village people, something is always spiritual problem. Okay, so I like that one. Maybe we pinpoint more on that. Then bouncing back. I don't think they need to tell you that if you live in this country, you must bounce back, because the challenges we are going through every day, there are some citizens that cannot cope. Substance abuse, healthy avoidance, evaluating yourself. I think that are there parameters for evaluating oneself? Excuse me, sir, Mr. Lecturer, man of God. Are there parameters for evaluating oneself? There are. I would like to, because this evening I want to check myself. Do you do it before you eat or after you eat? Do you do it before they pay you salary or after you collect salary? Because you have to check it, you see. Okay, so I think we're ready for our next speaker. Please, can we celebrate our previous speaker one more time? You are not clapping very well. See, this is the kind of event that should be free. I'm telling you, because people don't know that the things that go on in our mind. But don't worry, we are starting. I will finish well. Okay, so coming to talk to us now is somebody I've known for quite a number of years, all right? And she's been very consistent in what she does. She's going to talk to us about restorative sleep, importance, health, benefits, and strategies for optimal rest, okay? Let me tell you a bit about her. She is a passionate physician who has distinguished herself in her pursuit of excellence in healthcare delivery. She's a graduate of medicine from the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria and holds both a postgraduate diploma and a master's in public health from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Please put your hands together for her. She's a fellow of the West African College of Physicians, Internal Medicine, Neurology, and a board-certified lifestyle medicine physician from the International Board of Lifestyle Medicine, United States. Please put your hands together for her. I don't even know which one is lifestyle medicine. There's lifestyle medicine. That means as you're living your life, you'll be taking drugs. Is that what it means? Okay, she will explain to us. She currently heads Since and Movement Disorder Society, MDS, and is the General Secretary of SOLONG. Okay. She enjoys playing the saxophone. Interesting. She plays golf, horseback, riding, and long distance running. You know why she does it? For her mental health. If you are doing all these many things, all these many titles, and no rest, what do you think will happen? Ladies and gentlemen, please, with a rousing round of applause, help me make welcome our next speaker, Dr. Mimi Osawani. She does not look like all these titles. She's wearing canvas. Because after a year now, she's going to jog. She's going to jog from here to her house. She's jogging. Because mental health is very important for her. Please put your hands together for Dr. Mimi.
Thank you so much, Mr. MC. Thank you so much. Thank you, the organizers, for this wonderful opportunity. And it's actually right. I can actually jog from my house. It's internal to this place. And I'm ready. Thank you very much. Without much ado, I'll be very happy to take on my presentation. But he asked a very important question, and I've been looking for a window. I'm sure my VP, one of the next presenters, will be very happy. I mean, we're always looking for an opportunity to tell people about lifestyle medicine. So let me demystify lifestyle medicine. All right. I normally tell myself that if there was lifestyle medicine when I was growing up, I probably would have just decided I may have not have done neurology. I would have just done lifestyle medicine, because I keep asking myself, why do we wait for people to be sick to treat them? It's like we're just waiting. What can we do? You know, that's the essence of this presentation. That's the essence of this conference. Okay? What can we do to actually stop it or manage it in the first place so it doesn't even get overboard? So lifestyle medicine, right, is a branch of medicine. So the medicine that you know is the one where you go to the hospital, we prescribe drugs and all of that. That's conventional medicine. You know other kinds of medicine, you know traditional medicine, but there is a lifestyle medicine. And lifestyle medicine is lifestyle measures. There are 6 pillars. I'll take you run through them very quickly, which include diet, healthy nutrition, exercise and physical activity, all right, sleep, then mental health, which is what's part of what we're already doing. Of taking drugs. But the problem is that a lot of people like fast things. That's the issue. But you see, lifestyle medicine deals with the root. Let me explain what that means. If this roof, for example, was leaking, you bring a bucket to stop water, and it was raining, to collect the water, and then you pour it and get another pail, a bucket, and things like that. Have you solved the problem? You have just managed. So that's what we do a lot of times in medicine. Okay, maybe for surgeons, they will pride themselves is that they remove the lump, so you're fine. But most of the other things you keep managing. But when you mend the roof, you have solved so that's what lifestyle medicine does. It deals with the root cause of disease. So let's go sleep. I hope you like the picture of the baby. Do you sleep like that? Is that how you look when you sleep? Very peaceful, right? Mr. Yomi, let's go together. So I'm going to follow this outline. Next slide. So the first thing is, what is sleep? So please follow me. I'm using some technical words, but there's no way around it, but they're not rocket science. You can follow. So sleep is it's naturally occurring reversible altered state of consciousness, and is characterized by a decrease in awareness and responsiveness to stimuli. All right, you don't have to cram it. You all know that that's what it is. If the person is unconscious, the person wouldn't respond to stimulus, and even though that can be reversible. All right, next slide, please. All right, so before now, okay, people have different ideologies of sleep. I mean, when you talk about sleep, they say things like, if you, like the MC said, you're wasting your time if you sleep. All those speakers that say if you have slept for 6 hours and you're how old now, you have slept half of your life away and you begin to feel terrible, That's not true. Being able to function on a small amount of sleep is equated with strength. These young people, that they've spent all night on the internet and then they wake up, they sleep for 3 hours and they're all bouncing and they're like, you probably sleeping. I mean, I slept for 3 hours, here I am, and they are boastful about it. I will tell you about those kind of people soon. Newer insights, however, say that sleep adequate to is sleep. Next slide. Is that you? Next slide. All right. So I already defined sleep for you as a reversible state of unconsciousness where one does not quite respond to stimuli. But I want to explain some medical issues with sleep, or the makeup of sleep very well, so that you would appreciate how and why you must sleep. Because if you don't get this part right, you understand, when we say get sleep, you may be struggling with it, but if you understand the why, you will now know, okay, this is why I must get sleep, this is where my problem has been. So sleep physiology. So I've made it very easy. Next slide for you. And so how many of we know that cars have different gears, right? So sleep has 4 stages, main stages, all right? But gear 1, you can't move too fast. If you want to move very fast, you get to gear 4 on some cars, you have gear 5, okay? Then you can cruise, okay? So when you just start the car, you don't move straight to gear 5, do you? No, the car has to rev a bit. Well, all those sports cars are a different species, but the regular cars, it has to follow this pattern. So there are 4 stages of sleep, and I'll take you through them, why they are important. So don't worry about physiology that I put there. For people that like to read and read, when you have the slides, you can enjoy it. So there are 4 stages. Next slide. So stage 1 is that early phase where you are feeling sleepy. When they wake you up, you say something like, no, I wasn't sleeping. You were sleeping. It's that stage. And even that stage is the individual is easily arousable, okay? And then at that stage, your heart rate and respiratory rate it goes down a bit. But very important, look at the last line. It says growth hormone levels are increased during sleep and peak immediately subsequent to sleep onset. So if you find anyone who is height deprived, maybe that person was not sleeping well. So you can begin to see where people's problems come from. When our parents would tell you, go on sleep so you'll be tall, they were not lying. It is at that stage of sleep that the growth hormone is released. Next slide. Number 2, this also is the second stage of sleep. It is deeper than the first. That person is not so easily arousable, okay? And then the heart rate and the blood pressure also reduces at much more than the first. And then at this stage, memory consolidation takes place during this stage. So if you have an exam the next day, does it make sense for you to be awake and then you now go for even the one you knew before? When you see it, you will not recognize the question. It is for memory consolidation. That is why some people already at 40, they're like, doctor, I can't remember things anymore. I'm looking for where I parked my car. I'm looking for where I kept my car keys already. You have not even gone to 60, 50 self, you have not reached. Do you understand? This is where the problem is. Next slide. 3. So this is even deeper sleep, okay? This is very deep. And then it is very, very difficult to wake this person. You really need to jab the person to wake the person up. Now, at this stage, immune system is strengthened, there's tissue repair, there's growth, and there's cell regeneration. So all that wear and tear that you have gone through the day, you are giving your body time to rejuvenate and repair. Next slide. This one, I'm sure you like this one. It's called REM sleep. The first one, 1, 2, 3. It just means rapid eye movements. Okay, this is the 4th stage. At this stage, right, it's almost as if the person is awake. The waves will appear as if the heart rate, the blood pressure may go up a bit. But this is the stage where people start dreaming, all right? But when you start dreaming, you can't act your dream. So there's this paralysis. I mean, it would be terrible if you start acting out your dream. In fact, that's one of the sleep disorders. It's called parasomnia. Anyway, but this stage is also important. It helps with mental health and building of the immune system. Can you see that all is important? So if you have slept for 1 hour, how are you going to achieve or get all the benefits of all the stages? Next slide, please. All right, so now it moves in a cycle. So it starts with stage 1, 2, 3, sometimes back to 2, then to the REM sleep, back to 2. So each cycle lasts for like 90 minutes. So that's, you have like 5 to 6 cycles to achieve the nighttime sleep of 7 hours that is beneficial for your well-being. Do you understand why you have to sleep for that long? Why 3 hours will not do it? I hope you understand now. So next slide. Next slide, please. Thank you. So let's skip this. It's about the same thing, but a different picture. Next slide. All right. The second aspect of what sleep is regulate. How is it regulated? There are just 2 things. Next slide. So next slide. So there are just 2 things. There's what we call the hemostatic drive. I won't take you through all that chemical reaction, but what it means is that it is the pressure your body generates to make you sleep at night. Let me paint a clear picture. So if you say you wake up in the morning and you jog, you did a lot of physical activity, you would have built up a lot of, you used up a lot of ATP. I'm sure you know what ATP is. And that's ATP, okay, for energy, adenosine triphosphate, okay? But your body now builds up a lot of adenosine. If that adenosine, even to have peaked, then it increases your pressure for sleep. So it's not the same as someone who has been eating popcorn, sitting and watching TV. At night, the person may still be okay. So melatonin is released and it helps makes you sleep. So that's it. So next slide. So let's skip that. So that's what sleep is. I've defined sleep. I've told you what it is, and I've told you how it's controlled physiologically and then how it's regulated. Physiologically, the 4 stages, and then how it's regulated through increase of sleep drive, and then the circadian rhythm using 2 molecules, the wakeful hormone, cortisol, and the sleep hormone, melatonin. I think that's simple enough. Next slide. So why is sleep important? We have said all of this. Next slide. Now, let's look at this closely. Growth hormone release. So if you want to increase your height, you make sure that, well, if your bones have not, the hypophysis has not occurred, you understand that you may still grow, okay? But there are other growths. Growth hormone also helps in the growth of other cells, not just height, okay? So that improves cellular growth, all right? Then it helps with muscle recovery, improving exercise performance, DNA repair, it boosts your immune system, memory coding, and consolidation. So this memory thing is becoming a big issue. So if you don't sleep well, there's no way you're going to, what you have encoded, when someone tells you something, your brain needs time to code it and keep it and consolidate it. If you're not sleeping well, that will not happen. That's why you learn many things. You don't sleep well that night or whatever. You're anxiously eating anything and all of that. Then there's also something, when you sleep well, it also helps control your cortisol and your glucose level. So there are some people who are very slim, right? Sometimes they exercise, but sleep is a problem. They don't come up with diabetes, and you'll be wondering how is it possible? It is because of what we call insulin sensitivity. So when you sleep well, you have good insulin sensitivity. When you don't sleep well, you have insulin insensitivity. Let me break it down so you understand what insulin sensitivity means. So when you eat, right, there's sugar in your blood just flowing, all right? But that is not where people can, if dangers of poor sleep include hypertension. So I remember once when I was studying for exams, so my group of friends said, let's read at night now, we can read at night. Now, how David went to meet Saul and said he was going to kill Goliath. And David, Saul now said, take my armor. He waited and it was heavy. He said, no, I can't. I will do what I'm used to. I decided to wear the environment and join them to read all night. By the next morning, first of all, I was very confused. By the time I went, I didn't feel okay. By the time I was checking my blood pressure, it was going up. I said, thank you very much, guys. Enough reading, sleep, night reading. I do not do I sleep, I read during the day, early in the morning and during the day. At night, I sleep and I've been fine. So, hypertension. When people are finding it difficult to even the drug that you're taking is you are still struggling because insomnia, where you do not have, you find it difficult to initiate the sleep, or you sleep well, and then in the middle of the night you wake up and you can't get back to sleep again. That's sustaining the sleep. So some people have one or the other, some people have both. Then there's sleep breathing, sleep-related disorders. That's those people that when they're sleeping don't breathe very well. All right, let's just leave it at that. Then there is central sleep hypersomnolence. There are some people that sleep too much. Even if they have slept for 9 hours, if they sit down, they sleep. It's called narcolepsy. Okay, then there's circadian rhythms. People who night duty, for example, so they've changed the clock because at night when they should be sleeping, melatonin is released. They are awake. Do you understand? So people, if the statistics in any country, in our country, they are the most. And if any statistics you take and you divide it over those people that are 50 less, 6 less, but the bulk are young people and even adolescents. These people are not sleeping. That is trouble is brewing. They don't sleep. They're on the internet. They tell you that they are working remotely. Once there's something else that they say they are a content creator. Look, they don't sleep. They are on duty. They are not sleeping. That's 9 to 10 hours. They are not sleeping. And the danger with this kind of people is that they feel okay. I've met someone who he said that's how he has been. Now he's 39. He has issues. These are the things. Physical activity. Increase physical activity in the morning, eating healthy, nutritious diet. I'll say something about it subsequently. Then avoidance of alcohol and tobacco, light exposure during the day, managing stress. Sometimes when people are ill, affects their sleeping pattern and some medications that you're on. Next slide, please. Mr. Yomi. Mr. Yomi, thank you. All right, so during the day, make sure that you are not indoors. Make sure you get a good dose of sunlight, okay? Then make sure you exercise. Exercise during the day, I've already mentioned that to you, improves your quality of sleep. And not the exercise that you do at 6 p.m. That is counterproductive. For some people it works, but maybe not for too long. But when you're really having this fight with getting quality sleep, please do it in the morning or before 5, okay? And let me even add, make sure resistance training exercise, not just aerobics, that part, just a little of it can help ensure that you get to that deep sleep. There's some people that they sleep very lightly and they be like, it wasn't deep enough. If you do resistance training exercise, engage your mind during the day. Do something, don't sleep. And even if you nap and you're tired sincerely, you can sleep for not more than 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes. But once it's 5 p.m., just don't sleep because you frustrate that sleep that's been building since morning. All right, next slide. So now at night, set a particular time for going to bed, because let me give this analogy. For example, if you hear, already if I see this and see this, I'm already salivating. Do you understand? Because it's plates. I expect there to be food. The same way, once it's 10 p.m. that you have set, let your mind be accustomed to it and let your bedroom be for sleep alone. Do you understand? So once you see your bed, you know it's sleep. But you can confuse your mind when you are on your bed and you're watching TV. You're confusing your mind. Your mind will not know which one it is. Okay, so you have to take away the TV and use your room for sleep alone. Okay, and then food, no carbs. Then work on managing your stress. Because, for example, if something is stressing you, like if you have a presentation, me, I slept very well because I had this slide before a long time ago, so I have prepared slides for a lot of things that I do. But assuming that you have a task the next day and you have not solved it, you will see that thing in your sleep. Do you understand? You have a task, you haven't sorted it out. It's a stressor and it can affect your sleep. So you need to find a way to deal with it. Next slide. All right, in conclusion, I've spoken to you about restorative sleep and it's essential for your health and well-being. I believe that you have seen how the achievement of restorative sleep continues to be a challenge for quite a number of people. A lot of people. But with determination, the achievement and maintenance of sleep hygiene is possible. Thank you very much. And the next slide, some references. Next slide. Okay, minutes. All right. Thank you very much.
I will celebrate Dr. Mimi and our white canvas very well. She already told us that she's going to jog home, please. If she drove car here, you see her car key. She must jog to her house so that she can sleep well this night. But I hope well, I don't want to hope. I expect that you got a lot from the talk, right? Please, can we celebrate her one more time? And by extension, can we celebrate this foundation for putting this together, Princess Victoria Ibogeta Foundation? Well, just a few things while we're preparing for the next slide. Okay, she explained lifestyle medicine. Thank you for that. Then, but I have a question. You know, you were saying that medicine should be more preventive of the sickness before it comes. You know, that is good. But how will the hospital make money? If they are not sick people, how will they make money? So maybe it's the kind of knowledge that they keep aside. They say, go and fall sick. We need to make. I saw one advert, right? This hospital was not making money. So this man he made football. All right? He now placed the football in 5 places in the city. So you know how people just see football and guys just come and play it and go. But you know what? The football was made of concrete. So they were working together. Okay. All right, so we're moving to the next speaker. Okay. And of course, I like this topic. The topics here today are something else. Okay, so the person is coming to talk to us about mental health awareness, prevention and decriminalizing of attempted suicide. You know, I don't know how they even criminalize, you know, somebody that's trying to commit suicide. Except if the person was owing another person money. Have you seen all those kids that you are owing somebody money, you're not trying to cross road, the person will say, stop. How can you don't cross road? Be careful. You know? So the person coming to talk to us is a certified therapist. And just a minute. I'm receiving some office calls. Let me just quickly put that off. All right, so she's a certified therapist and mental health expert with a BSc in psychology and an MSc in transpersonal mental health. Wow. Currently pursuing her PhD. She specializes in addressing mental health and She specializes in addressing mental health holistically, focusing on adverse childhood experiences. This one is very important. Did you know that the reason why you are the way you are is because of how you grew up? The things that you went through. Okay, so as the executive director of Whatclef, she leads efforts to combat human trafficking, child labor, and irregular migration, and is the zonal coordinator for NACTAL, covering 7 Nigerian states. Please put your hands together for her. That's a lot, especially that human trafficking part. Oh, I like that one. She has worked both in Nigeria and internationally, training professionals and law enforcement on counter-trafficking, gender-based violence. Of course, gender-based violence is an ongoing conversation this period, all right? Victim rehabilitation. She has facilitated the rescue, reintegration, and empowerment of trafficking victims and served on Nigeria's Interministerial Committee to End Gender-Based Violence. Please put your hands together for her. Those are very important conversations, and she's been able to save many lives. She's a former journalist and educator. She has also mentored adolescents and provided psychosocial, has come again, psychosocial support in schools and communities. She's fluent in several languages, so she's going to talk to us in all Nigerian languages today. She will not live here on, how many languages do you have in Nigeria? Almost 500. She will speak in all. She's fluent in several languages, and she continues to speak at conferences and train professionals across the globe. She's married with children, enjoys singing, traveling, and is committed to human capital development and youth mentorship. Did you see that singing and traveling part? It's for her mental health. Please put your hands together for her. Coming up to talk to us right now, mental health awareness, prevention, decriminalizing of attempted suicide. Please put your hands together for Imal Ladiko Sanusi. Please put your hands together. She's a certified therapist. We have always been looking for therapists for various things. It's good that we met you.
Thank you. I was just wondering, who is he talking about? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's afternoon already. I remember we've all been here for a long time. So let me begin by thanking Princess Victoria Ibo Itesa Foundation for organizing this, the convener. Thank you for fulfilling calling, because this is a unique event, and I want to thank you all for being here. I'll start with a story. I don't know if my slide is ready. Okay, so let me start with a story. We interface with a lot of people. I have partners in this hall. We work on Meta Trauma Nigeria. Thank you, Ma, from all the way from Lagos. Thank you for coming. Thank you. We interface with a lot of big people that we don't need to mention their names. By the way, we are doing it to support humanity. So a particular girl who graduated from one of the biggest universities in Nigeria, you know that kind of university that you be paying the kind of money that is enough to build dams in your village. You know that kind of school. I don't want to mention names. So she said she was struggling to meet up with her average grades, but she couldn't meet up. Each time her grades were going down, down, and down. And each time from home they expected her to be on top because they have spent so much money, so she has to pass. So she said she was fed up of life. When you put my slide, I will start. I'm waiting for you. She said she was fed up of life. And she remembered that her roommate bought sniper because of cockroach in their room. She said that went to her mind. And then she gingerly went, because she said first semester, second semester, all through first year, second, she was not making it.
And this is the course the parents said she should study. And they spent so much. On the media on suicide published, I went to current researches on suicide in Nigeria, and I was very glad I found this. That was what was published by Ikechukwu Sunday. I'm a journalist, so you have to always acknowledge people's works. So Ikechukwu Sunday published this on the Daily Post and published it on the 22nd September 2024. Meanwhile, in September 2020, during lockdown, the Nigerian Association of Psychiatry president said that over 60 million people in Nigeria have mental health. So I wanted something current on mental health, so I thank God I got this. Please go back to that thing I'm talking about. Yes, and the title was Knocks on Nigerian Government Over Suicide Rate Alarm. That was, you know, when you give people scorecard in school, but this one knocks, thumbs down on the suicide rate in Nigeria. I said, good, my people are working. The next slide. And then the federal government in Nigeria on the International Suicide Day alert suicide rate. So on Thursday, September 19, 2024, the federal government raised an alarm over the rising cases of suicide in Nigeria, which it reveals to at 12.9%. The figure the government noticed was frightening, even as it disclosed that cases of suicide were underreported in Nigeria. You know, I just told you one, and that's one out of over 200 million. Now, they said government is traumatizing us. I hear people say that, isn't it? But this is what the government is doing on suicide. So let's keep moving. I'll be fast. So this is the statistics. The age group between 15 and 29. Dr. Mimi, those were adolescent people that are always online content creators. This is where they fall. They have the highest suicide rate. They are not sleeping. Sometimes they don't eat, they just take juice. We see a lot of juice and everything around them. And then, ranked fourth leading cause of death among young people in Africa. So in Africa, when you say what is the first 4 issues that cause death, they say suicide is number 4. In those days, they say people die at old age. They call it natural death. And then the percentage, it accounts for 40% of suicide deaths in the region in Africa. Please, the next slide. Can you see statistics? It's alarming. It's frightening. In 2020, they said over 60 million people, go and check it, have mental health. And then the categories of suicide issues, those who have thought of it, attempted and failed. I just told you about that, Gen Z. Is my client, so I don't need to come and mention him. Those who are contemplating it as we speak. Princess Victoria spent a lot to bring this up. She has invited us, and we too are also publishing the invite, isn't it? See the hall now. But if she says, Princess Victoria says she's going to be sharing 1 bag of rice each, you'll see this place flooded. We are talking about stomach. Now, the World Health Organization, when it was that long time period and all of us were clinging together, you know, most of the times the victims were staying with their abusers, he made a call to Nigeria, because you know Nigeria is the largest black nation, isn't it? Oh no, are we not? Oh, are we not? Okay. So the World Health Organization called African governments to upscale actions on interventions of mental health. Then the Nigerian legislative response, wow, that was so exciting for us in this space. So mental health services in Nigeria received the needed attention when the then president signed the mental health bill into law in 2023. At least he did, for me, one thing good, I still said kudos to him. But do you know one thing about policies? How often do you think it should be reviewed? Every what? 5 years. So 1958. In those days, if you mention that you know somebody who has mental health, you and that person will be locked. Go and find out. If you peradventure mention, somebody has mental, you're in trouble, and that person too is in trouble. So there are a lot of things that will be done. Maybe chaining the person, tying the person down, clamping the person to the bed. This is what has been happening. But let me tell you a secret. Mental health issues is just about how we think, we feel, and act. Our first speaker and the second speaker have said that. Another thing is that it's just like a rubber band. If you stretch this way, it breaks. If you stretch this way, it can break. Then the middle is okay. So either it goes extreme, it's either depression, anxiety, or psychosis. That is why you see people move in the streets. They are already out of this world. Let me not go beyond my slide. So the next. Where is the accurate timekeeper? Thank God he's not here. So why is mental health talk important? Why? Why should you make it a conversation? With another slide. The next slide, please. That people who are suicidal, the next slide, the next one. Sorry, stop. You have to be mentally ill to think of suicide. I had a client who just lost her mother, then lost a mother figure, and lost a baby. She has been looking for a baby. So the next thing she thought is just let her die. Why is she living? Can you see? She didn't have mental health. She had a good job, but she is very rich. But when some experiences hit you, when some adversity, some life adversity hits you, sometimes people will say, "Why? I beg, may I end them?" Then the next one is that talking about the topic suicide prevention is of no use. Why should come put suicide? There are all things to talk about. I beg. You see, these are myths. Next slide. So some myth versus fact on mental health. So we have mentioned some myth. It's not all, it's much. If we had time, I would have said you should write the myth of suicide in your family, or in your community, or in your religious place of worship, whether mosque or traditional worship or church. Religious people do not have mental health. Pay attention, no. Number one myth that religious people who are religious, they don't have mental health issues. Should I shock you that one of the people who are filled up with these religious spaces are people with psychopathic dysfunctional disorders? I'm telling you. It shows from what they do to the humans around them. Yeah? You people know now, how can you tell your congregation to go and start eating grass? Okay, let's leave that. The truth is that religious people and everyone have mental health. Did you see what I said? Mental health. Mental health is just how we think, feel, and act. So all of us will have mental health. I didn't say we have mental health issues, please underline. Everybody has mental health, how we feel, how we think, and how we act. Then number two, religious people do not have mental health issues. These issues now, schizophrenia, psychosis, anxiety, depression, all those issues. They are different issues. So doctor is saying, I'm not coming to do our work. The fact is, everyone, including religious people, can have mental health issues. We can be depressed. We can be like our first speaker talked about. What happens to you, like using the analysis, put water down, bring it up. Something happens to you, you need somebody to raise you up, or you may have the resilience in you to do so. Then another myth is that some women have mental health, only women have mental health issues. Is it true? So that you have gotten the answer. Women, including men, have mental health issues. Then number four, mental health is a character flaw. Because you have mental health, you are weak. You are weak, you are a weak person. It's false. The truth is, mental health has nothing to do with our character flaw. Then number five is that children cannot be affected by mental health issues. It's a big fat fallacy. children are affected and also suffer from mental health issues. When Dr. Mimi projected the sleep, the hour of sleep needed per person, hey, I was telling Mr. Francis, the first speaker, I said, should I paint a picture for you? By 6 a.m. the boss is doing pam, pam, pam for a small child still wearing pampers. The mother put the child on the bus ground as a people. Look at it. Oh. Can we read together? Number 1, skyrocketing prices. 5 minutes, okay. Number 2, loss of livelihood. We are into child labor focal organization. Before it was children, parents that were sustaining the family. They have lost their job. So it's the children now that are sustaining the children. With that little, buy pure water, buy okpa. Cashless policy and Naira redesign. It was a big issue. You see people in the bank stripping themselves naked. Give me my money. You know, inflation rates. Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, NBS has told us. Political expectations, NSAS, COVID-19, energy and power in Nigeria, recession, war in Ukraine. You say how? The wheat, bread. You don't see how much we buy bread now. Because of those things. Even now, when you are taking children lunch box, they say no 15 naira biscuit again. That's it. And then security issues, water, hygiene, and sanitation. Let's go to the next slide. Say 5 minutes. Suicide protection. No single silver bullet approach. Sorry, it's supposed to be suicide prevention. I'm not coming here to tell you that you should do this, you should do that. The first speaker has already given us a therapist. Seek help. No single bullet. But one of the things like we are doing now is a good one. Then the next slide. Why people commit suicide? The cyber suicide pact, joblessness, marital issues, cyberbullying. People are killing themselves because of cyberbullying now. You know. Then unemployment, reaction to failure, disappointment, domestic violence, incurable disease. I have a wife who said, today I'm ending it. And I went to one of the hospitals in our street, because our street, I saw road safety. Well, the road safety, they partner with us. She has not eaten since how many days? The husband beats her like mad. So when she entered, as soon as she entered our conference room, she fainted. We didn't know she has not eaten. When we gave her food, she revived. She said that as long as she stays without her husband, she must kill herself. Why? The man abuses her. Let's not go into stories. The next slide. Question and answer, the next slide. Reflection, no time, the next slide. Thank you. Eshekuto. Nagode. Dalu. Sasa.
Please, can you put your hands together for her? How many languages does she speak at the end? And we have how many languages in Nigeria? She's owing us over 300 more languages. Please put your hands together for her. Whether today or tomorrow, you must speak all those languages for us. You know, the issue of suicide and mental health, it's a very serious thing. I've never heard Gen Z. 18 years, 17 years. It broke my heart. I will kill myself. This love. Which love? Which love? He's cheating on me. He has finished my life.
Can you still hear me? Yeah. You have been a very wonderful audience so far, so good. Please put your hands together for yourself. So I gather that, and I think this is also a mental issue, or it's also a mental health consideration. I gather that there were crowds of people who were invited here, and then they now said they must give them transport money before they come and hear what will benefit them. Can you imagine? And there's even food, you see. So you begin to see that sometimes people don't know what's even good for them, or what's even important for their own progress. You see? But I still want to appreciate the foundation for putting this together, because, hey, let me ask you a question. How many of you think that your being here has helped your mental health so far? Can I see your hand up? Can I see your hand up? Please, can we celebrate the foundation? what a lot of Nigerians should be coming for. Because sometimes you have mental health issues and you don't even know. Because you are used to it, or they classify everything. Look at all the things that Dr. Mimi talked about, sleep. Some people say the reason why I cannot sleep is my who? My village people. They are disturbing me, they are worrying my life. Meanwhile, it's just a sleep disorder, you see, or some other condition. Alright? Okay, so we're approaching break time.
Okay, we're approaching break time, but not just yet. Before we go to break time, now please, for all our speakers, please remember to pen down your, what do you call it, your questions and answers, all right? And then, I like the fact that some people are taking notes, you see? And I like how full this place is. Please can we put our hands together for that? Very exciting. And you, those joining us, you know, from all over the world, depending on the country you're joining us from, we celebrate you, all right? We appreciate you. Maybe tomorrow now, this gentleman coming to speak with us, he has an MBBS, he has a DIP in health. I'm not sure what that is, but he will tell us by himself. DIP, health, safety, and environmental management. He has PGD, HIV. Oh, wow. He will explain by himself, because I don't understand how that one is titled. He has Edu and management. You cannot confuse us. He has PGD, lifestyle medicine. Oh, okay, lifestyle medicine, all the way from India. Wow. I am liking what you're doing. Very good, very good, very good. All right, so PGD, PCVN UK. One person. He has MPH. Is that not miles per hour? Okay. He has MPH, MSc Health Education. Do you know, I've not said anything about him. It's just title. Okay. He has MSc Priv CV MED UK. He has CWC. That's Celestial Church Worldwide. California. He has MNIM, IGG OCUP. Health and safety. This is my last plan. You will not do anything to my mental health. He has FAIPH. What is that? I don't know. It's FOP. He is a consultant public health specialist and board certified lifestyle medicine physician, USA. Please put your hands together for him. With nearly 20 years of experience, his expertise includes preventing and managing cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and obesity through lifestyle interventions. All right. So he holds extensive qualifications from institutions like Harvard Medical School and University of California. Wow. Please put your hands together for that now. You're clapping as if you're jealous of this degree. Please, can you clap like you're happy for him? I went to UI. All right. UI is also Harvard. If you look at it one kind. Thank you. He has received numerous awards, including the Hampusu Wusu. Wow. Hampusu Wusu Prize from the University of Lagos. You want to tell us why you chose this word, Hampusu Wusu? University of Lagos. His roles have included Deputy Director of Medical Services in Lagos, Senior Specialist Place First. Then we will now copy him as he does. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. So we are going to talk about exercise. So I think it's just ideal that we have been sitting for a while, right? So maybe we should just stand up a bit and let's just shake our body. Stretch your arms. Let's stretch our arms. We have been sitting for long. It's part of what we are going to discuss today. I think we have done something wrong today by sitting this long. Yeah, so stretch your arms, stretch your legs, stretch your necks. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. So let's go because of our time. So let's do. Thank you very much. So I have two announcements and a question for you. The first announcement is that And then the second announcement, we mentioned it to Princess, and Princess said that she actually bought some of them and said that we should give few people this medicine. And it actually worked for everything. And that is guaranteed medically. I mean, the medical doctor, I'm telling you, it works for everything. So we are going to give few people today that pay attention. So before I end, I'm going to round it up. But once I see that you are really paying attention, I'm going to give you. Now, so let me ask my question, then I go to the presentation. There's this condition. It's not really a disease, but it worries doctors a lot. Anytime we think about it, it's the number one health condition that worries doctors. So let's move to the slide. The number one. So let's start with this background information. Nigeria, and by extension the Sub-Saharan Africa, we have the youngest population in the world. The average age in Nigeria, somebody mentioned earlier that we are a lot of adolescents. The average age in Nigeria presently, if they all of us, they divide the average, we are just about 18.1 years. You can see that we are actually very, very young in this country. But we are increasing in age at an alarming rate. Because we are many, and many of us are now getting older. And it's now becoming a challenge for us. Why? Because many of us know that once people get old, there are some things that comes along with it. Once we are crossing about 40, 45, many conditions comes along with it. I have mentioned some of them. Can you echo it? Obesity, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease. Now, see that first sentence. Aging is the most important global public health challenge. This is the most concerning thing to doctors presently. Why? Because many times, once people get to some certain age, these diseases come. So, hypertension comes, diabetes comes, and all that. So it is a challenge to us in the medical space all over the world, because many people are getting older. And in fact, statistics have shown that, we want it or not, that most people now is basically we go to get to 60 years, either we want it or not. Most of us will get to 60 years, but it is also that most of us will not get to 60 years, and many people will develop these disease conditions. So it is a challenge to us. But another thing we have noticed is that it is the Western world that developed it, and they brought it to us. And we are now saying that we are living life of comfort, and we are taking this, and it has its own their consequences. And part of the consequences is that we are not having these diseases they are having. So the secret to optimal mental and physical health and long life is to engage in healthy lifestyle right from young age. We have now discovered that if you can avoid some of these things and you live a healthy lifestyle right from young age, and even if not from young age, anytime you hear about it, you make up your mind, as somebody has said, you resolve that, look, this thing I've been taught about my lifestyle, I'm going to start doing it today. The effect will start immediately once you start doing it. And one of the most important things you can understand, what we call the structured exercise and the non-structured exercise. And the two are very important for you to engage in. As I said, if you engage in exercise, you are going to avoid these diseases. And if you have some of them, it will help you to control them. You don't have to take these multiple drugs to get them controlled. So when I talk about this structured exercise or the regular exercise that people talk about, what does it mean? It just means that conscious, repetitive physical activity that you engage in because you want to improve your health. So once you are doing that, that is what they call that structured exercise or the normal exercise. But there's another form of exercise that is not really an exercise. It's called the non-structured one. That one that we did not plan for it. It's not as if you put structure in it, but you just keep doing it. If you decide to move your body, what are the benefits you tend to gain from it? You are going to gain both a physical benefit and a lot of mental benefit just because you are moving your body. Now see this chart. Chronic disease. One, studies have shown that those that exercise regularly, they live longer. They don't die faster compared to those that don't exercise. So if you want to live longer, one of the things you should do is to exercise. One, blood pressure will reduce. So if you don't want to get hypertension in life, if any of your parents or of your family members are hypertensive and you are worried, or doctor has been telling you that look, this BP is already doing like this, so watch it. Then one of the things you need to do is to start exercising. And if you have already developed hypertension, if you start exercising, it is a drug on its own that will drop your blood pressure down. Another thing is that you drop your blood lipid, your cholesterol down. It will help you to control diabetes. It will help you to prevent heart problems. To people that don't exercise. So it's like you banking or you pension. Many of us now have a pension scheme or plan. Say yes, I have a pension plan. And it's because you are looking for the rainy days. You are looking for that day that you don't have that strength again. And you're not going to be tapping from that your pension. So see it also as that time when you grow old, when you don't have that strength to do exercise again, if you have done exercise now, your body will have been primed, will have been conditioned, and be ready that in that old age will not wear you out. You will not be so fragile and so frail in old age, just because you choose to exercise now. What are the other things? We talked about the mental health. It reduces anxiety, it reduces depression, stress, it will reduce. And you can see it increases your ability to sleep. Dr. Mimi mentioned it. If you want to sleep, you're having problems with sleeping, just exercise in the day and see how you're going to sleep in the night. So it will help your self-esteem. Don't you see when people exercise, you just see this confidence. Maybe anytime you try to exercise, just see this confidence just came. As if you won a lottery or anything. It does that. Once you exercise, there are some chemicals that your body releases and send to your brain that give you this confidence, self-esteem. So if you are going for an interview, you are going for something that you are feeling a bit afraid of, exercise and see how confident you will be to face that situation. And the last thing, it also helps you in social support systems and involvement in society, in the community generally. So let's move on. So having said that, let's go to the practicality. Because it's not enough to just say exercise. What we have realized is that exercise can be too much and it can be too little. And that's why we need to tell people what it involves, the component of exercise that you need to do for you to be doing it. Because, like I was speaking like this in an event yesterday, and I told the person about exercise, one of the person I saw. And I said, doctor, if that exercise, don't worry. I do physical activity every day. My work is a very physical one. And I laugh. So we go through this thing and we determine if that just this physical work is enough to be called an exercise. Many times it is not enough because there are some requirements that must be met for you to say that, oh, I have exercised. Now the first thing is that you must engage in what they call aerobic exercise. It's one of the components of exercise you must do. And what does this one do? It will help you to increase resilience. Somebody mentioned resilience. The ability for your body to withstand something and to recover after it has been assaulted. It increases the resilience of your heart, your lungs, your brain, and many of your organs. And how do you do aerobic exercise? We are asking for just a moderate one. And that moderate one means that 30 minutes to 1 hour every day, you do something that is moderate, that just make you to sweat a bit. And you can do what we call brisk walking. Brisk walking means that kind of walk, you walk as if somebody is running after you. A bit of fast walk. You are meant to incorporate it into your daily tasks every day. I know you must achieve that 30 minutes at once. Even just 15 minutes you can achieve, and later in the day you still get that 15 minutes, you are still going to get the benefit. And you walk in the neighborhood, you walk in your compound, or is it that your office, you find a reason why you walk in your office just to ensure that you gather that 30 minutes to 1 hour of brisk walk. You can't walk. For some reasons, the environment is not safe and all that. Why can't you dance in your house? When you are taking your bath, why can't you dance? Why can't you, when you are cooking, why can't you put music and be dancing as you are cooking? Just do it for about 30 minutes and you are done for the day. And you can get to an hour, fantastic. And just do it in a way that you get that sweat. Very, very important. And if you not say that, I want to really go this, I want to do another one, you can do a vigorous one. For the guys, you can decide to play football. But that one, you don't want to do it every day. You just want about 3 times in a week. You can jog, you can run, you can ride the bicycle very fast. So these are the things you can do. You don't have to tie yourself to something, but it is important that you exercise your body, you move your body. If you are not moving your body, you are going to lose it. All your muscles are going to be getting stiff. Your bones will get stiff, your joints are going to get stiff, and there are going to be problems later in life. So these are the things you should do often. Now, the second thing you should do that is part of that exercise is that you aim for about 7,000 to 10 steps in a day. So that's walking. So you should not just say that, I'm just sitting down. Always find reason to stand up, to move. So don't always want to use the remote all the time. Or you want to, somebody is in the house, instead of to go and call the person, you are sending text to the person. You are in the same room, or you are in the same flat. People do it often. Or people even call. So find the reason why you stand up and gather about 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. How do you know you are better than this? There are so many ways you know this now. Now, many on your phone, there are these free apps that you can download. You just put on your phone. Once your phone is in your body, as you are moving your legs, it is counting. And at the end of the day, you say, I've gathered 5,000 steps. I've tried. Maybe tomorrow, I'll try and move more often. And once you get to about 7,000 to 10,000, if you can exceed it, fine. But your body have done something that it will be added into. We now discover that this sitting disease is equivalent to smoking. So you have been saying that, don't smoke. Or you see somebody smoking and you say, I pity for your life. That person is telling the person, I pity for your life. That person has been sitting for more than 8 hours cumulatively. That person should be telling you, I pity for your life. Because both of you have just done the same thing. So what goes wrong in the body when you smoke is exactly the same thing that goes wrong in your body when you sit down for 8 hours cumulatively in a day. That's including when you are in the office, when you are driving car, when you are at home. Once you are sitting down for cumulatively for more than 8 hours, your body just changed negatively and it's causing problem. So always find reason to stand up. Find reason to stand up, to stretch, to move around. It is not healthy to be sitting for long. So if you not get anything, get this. That please, please and please, sitting is now categorized as a disease once you are sitting for more than 8 hours at a stretch. I think we can sit. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, resistance or strength exercise. Dr. Mimi mentioned this. That before, when you see people, when you see that really these people, when you see somebody carrying weight or somebody carrying trying to work on their muscles, say that maybe you are going for Olympics or anything. Thank you. So we have realized that even us too, it is important at least 2 or 3 times in a week we attempt to work on our muscle. We don't ask you to carry weight now. We just need to do something that will put pressure on your muscle. And by doing that your muscle, by the time you tone that muscle, it will help you to control your sugar and to help you to do a lot of good. In fact, the skeletal muscle has been regarded as an organ of longevity. That you want to live well, one of the things you need to work on is your muscle. Just tone down your muscle. And there's so many things you can do. You can push up. You can push against the wall. Do something that will not put pressure on your muscles. You can do a plank. A plank means that you just stay on the spot on the floor as if you want to push up, and you stay there for a few minutes. It helps a lot. And if you have dumbbell, you can use it. If you don't have a dumbbell, you can even when you're carrying that your bucket at home, just ensure that it's not too heavy, so that it won't affect your back. Just ensure that you engage that your muscle. It's not every time you just ask yourself, go and do this one, go and do that one. Do some of those things yourself. It is beneficial. Let's move on. Flexibility. Flexibility means that when you move your muscle, that you make your muscle flexible. It's also beneficial for health. If you do not move your muscle, with time they become stiff. Your joint becomes stiff, and with time, when you are getting older, you will not have any problem with them. So ensure that at least 2 or 3 times a week, you just move your muscle. Let us move our muscle. Because this is a practical one. Let's move our muscle. Let's turn your neck. Look around. Some people will have that. When was the last time they stretch their neck to the back like this? They can't remember. Stretch your neck to the back. Move up, down. Your waist, go down, come up. Stretch it to the back like this. These are things that you go to the side. By doing this, you are one leg. Ask people now to stand on one leg now and start counting. Many of us can't do it again. But these are the things that helps you to get balance. And by the time you get balance, when you are getting older, any little thing will not, your body will be able to stand. Because your body has learned to balance itself.
Doing it. You just be tapping your leg, right? Okay. Tapping of leg matter. Alright. Then raising of the leg. Oh, that's the back of the leg, right? Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. I like that. Please can you let me pass the phone? Please, where is Prince? Alright, please help me send him with a note. Alright, so the phone is there. So always send a note, please. Okay. So we're moving on, and can I ask a question? Because there are different kind of conferences. I have been learning something. I'm talking from me now. I've been learning something. Can I see your hand if you have? All right. They sound very simple, but they also help your life. Please let me pass the phone. Okay, so we're trying to see how we can collapse some parts, segments of the event. Okay. Please, they have to write this message properly so I don't mix it up. Please, can they write it clearly for me? Okay. Then, but okay, I think I met him earlier. Is an IG, all right, that's an inspector Assistant Inspector General of Police, please send me a note, please. Assistant Inspector General of Police.
That's acute inflammation. But chronic is the is destroy things goes on for too long. Destroy things goes on for too long. It's now destructive. And part of the molecules that are released, molecules and cells that are released during that time is cortisol. Those that are released, molecules and cells that are released during that time is cortisol. So cortisol disrupts the entry of insulin. That relationship that insulin has with the cell to make glucose go into the cell. So the cell is now no longer sensitive to insulin. Do you understand? It's like putting a key that used to fit into a keyhole, locks the key, the door. But all of a sudden you put in the key, but it's not opening. So that's what now happens. So when insulin now takes sugar or glucose to the cells, it is no longer able to unlock that key and push the glucose perfectly inside as it used to, because lack of sleep has through chronic inflammation has interrupted that process. I hope I've been able to explain. All right.
Please put your hands together for her. Okay, so we're also very conscious of time because there's time. Please, there's a mic for you.
Thank you very much. So I wanted to know the type of exercise you can do as once you get to the senior citizen. Now you remember that I mentioned there are two types of exercises, the structured one and the non-structured one. Yeah. Let's start from the non-structured one. And all those non-structured one, moving around, washing your car, etc. You can do all that. They are safe for you because they are not too intense. Now let's go to the structured one. Now the structured one, remember that I talked about the aerobic, and the aerobic I talked about the moderate and the vigorous. Now the moderate, that brisk walking, safe for you. Dancing is safe for you. Swimming, these are things you can do without blinking an eye because they don't take too much from you. Now the vigorous one, those are the ones you need to be careful of. It's not as if you can't do it, but you need your doctors to clear you. So it's not everybody that can start as senior citizens are playing football, start running and all that. They might be dangerous. So we really encourage those ones until when you get your doctor's clearance. Say you want to join a gym and you have to be doing some intense exercise in the gym, then it's better you speak with your doctor, especially when you have underlying heart problems, you have kidney problems, diabetes. You need to sit down with your doctors and you guys function way. But aside that, the flexibility exercise, the balance, those ones, you can do them, but as I said, in moderation, and you'll be fine. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Does that make the mic? She wanted to ask a question. How many people have a question? He has a question. Okay, to her first. Okay. Good afternoon.
To Dr. Mimi, what's the relationship between menopause and insomnia, or not being able to sleep, and you are menopausal?
Okay.
All right. Very much, ma'am, for that question. Remember when I showed the things that can affect sleep, I showed some pictures, and I also added illness. Well, menopause is not an illness really, it's just a process of aging. Okay, so what happens is that there are certain things that occur during that time. For example, they have hot flushes. So when those people when they have hot flushes and it happens at night, it's going to affect your sleep. Okay, so, for example, those hot flushes, and then there's a change in the hormones. Okay, there's a drop in estrogen, and there's this imbalance as well. So that can, for that period of change, affect sleep. Then there's mood swings and things like that. So when mood swings occur, it can also affect one's sleep pattern and things like that. So because of those changes, it can affect menopause. So it's just between that individual and the physician to walk through that process. There are many things that can be done. The same things, lifestyle medicine, exercise, the healthy diet, can help it can actually help you achieve, restorative sleep. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mimi. Okay, over to the lady here. All right, she has 1 or 2 questions.
So I'm reading on her behalf.
Okay.
She has a question directed to Dr. Mimi. That Dr. Mimi mentioned that working out in the evening is counterproductive. So she wants to know if it's relative to sleep or in general.
Thank you for that brilliant question. All right. So it's good that I bring clarity to that so that people don't go home and think that they can't exercise in the evening per se. So there was a slide I brought out about things that can affect sleep, diet, illness, and I put exercise there as well. So the ideal thing is for you to exercise under the sunlight and during the day, and the reason is because, and rather than at night, because if you looked at the slide that I was presenting, there are certain things you can do during the day, and then at night avoid stimulants. So when you exercise, you are stirring up the sympathetic nervous system, and that is where cortisol, the wakeful hormone, is secreted, because you have to be alert and energized. So if you have that on the increase, sleep will be difficult. Now, I know that some young people argue that, but
And 10 minutes.
Okay.
And we still have some online questions.
Okay.
So
I'm
we're going to
sorry.
make them very brief answers and brief questions.
Okay, so I've answered your question.
Are you satisfied?
So
and they can stimulate after.
And okay,
They
yeah.
can see. And by the way, the notes from our speakers, are we going to have the slides?
Have been
Oh,
sent
thank you
already.
so much.
So it should be sent to your email.
I'm going to read 10 questions at the same time. All right, from our online audience. So, says, what are some signs and symptoms of burnout, and how can it be prevented? Okay, so I understand that food will be going on while the questions are being answered. I'm very happy about that. Don't ask me why. Okay, so number one, what are some common, so it's for our speakers generally, okay? So what are some common signs and symptoms of burnout, and how can it be prevented? How does exercise impact mental health? And what kind of physical activity are most beneficial for reducing stress and anxiety? You already mentioned a lot of that, or just for emphasis. Then what is the difference between stress and anxiety? And how can individuals develop effective coping strategies? Is your microphone? You are in front of it. What's the difference between stress and anxiety? And how can individuals develop effective coping strategies for managing both? How can mindfulness, number 4, and meditation practices be incorporated into daily life to improve mental well-being? I'm thinking our third speaker is taking that. Then, what role does nutrition play in supporting mental health? You, while our online audience are receiving answers. Okay, Mike, please, let's come. So we would like to start. The first question is some signs and symptoms of burnout, and how can it be prevented? I feel as if he's our special advisor to the presidency that should be taking that. All right, so Mike, over there, please. Common signs of symptoms of burnout, and of course, you can also contribute.
Burnout is something most times people mistake it for stress. There's difference between stress and burnout. There's a difference between burnout and crisis. Okay, burnout has to do when your emotion, your body, you're psychologically tired or fed up with a particular thing, especially with work. And the moment you start having burnout, the best thing is to quit.
Okay.
You understand? Because, for example, if you the sense is that you get frustrated, you get tired. When you wake up in the morning, you remember you have to go to work, and you don't feel like going. You get discouraged. You don't have the appetite to go to do that thing you used to do. Okay, it's sense of burnout. And if the burnout is work-related, the best advice is to leave, because if you don't, they will burn you out. They will bundle you out from that place. Yes, that's the danger. It's not the same thing with stress. Stress is completely different. In stress, we have positive stress, we have negative stress. Okay? Like somebody preparing, who got admission in university, preparing to go to universities, is positive stress. Somebody preparing for wedding, blah blah blah, is positive stress. But the worst is the negative stress. And when it gets to maybe acute stress disorder, that's when it becomes clinical.
All right, how does exercise impact mental health? And what types of physical activity are most beneficial for reducing stress and anxiety?
Thank you very much. How does exercise impact mental health?
Can the camera catch him?
You see, this is what happened.
Please, you can help us by standing up so that the camera can see you better.
So when you exercise, your body secretes some chemicals that are beneficial for your mental health.
Yes.
One example is a chemical called dopamine, that makes you feel happy. There's another one called epinephrine, that is serotonin. These are chemicals that once your body has enough of them, they make you feel relaxed. That one called GABA, make you feel relaxed, not tensed. Once you have, these are the chemicals that the body normally released when you are relaxed. These are the chemicals the body normally releases when you are happy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bamidele. Thank you so much. The next question. So, of course, the
example, like may not.
Okay, so the next question is how can mindfulness and meditation practices be incorporated into daily life to improve mental well-being? Meditation.
Yeah, meditation about mindfulness and meditation. And meditation is one practice we don't do in this part.
Do we have a lot of yoga in this Nigeria?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of it. Even meditation we don't have. And that is what was when I was doing my presentation, I talked about appraisal, self-appraisal. So we need to also cultivate the habit of meditation. Toxic people, when you appraisal, self-appraisal. So we need to also cultivate the habit of meditation. Toxic people, when you identify the toxic people around you, but conscious of the fact that you identify the toxic people around you, but conscious of the fact that you're a toxic person. If you understand and realize that you are.
Do toxic people really know that they are toxic?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
They may and pretend they don't know. Because people will also tell them.
Okay.
Because people will tell.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
By the time you realize that, you need to start advising yourself. You need to shed off certain things that it's not required. I think that's the most important thing. The most important aspect is to be conscious of what you do.
Please be conscious of what you do. And having said that,
and help promote your mental health.
Excuse me, ma'am. I don't understand what you have just said.
Whole food are plant-based.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're saying is that if you look at your plate, for example, and you can see that the things that are there are not processed, that you can tell where they came from. Like, for example, I'm trying not to look at this plate. Reflecting exactly what I'm saying. But let's say I have a plate in front of me, right? That has fruits and vegetables, not washed, and you cut it and you're eating it. But if I have some, things that are processed I cannot explain. For example,
but they have fruits that are processed.
I'm coming to that. I just wanted to tell you what plant-based is.
Okay.
But when they are whole, for example, we also prefer that you eat it whole. For example, it's better for you to eat the apple whole than for you to eat it blend, like processed to the ones that are in packets already.
Okay.
Do you understand? That is really refined.
Right,
so basically, things that are in cans and things that are in packets and things, and then they contain a lot of salt.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So it helps with increasing serotonin. It's an antidepressant.
Okay.
Do you understand? So when you eat these foods, you can even try and experiment by yourself.
Right.
Try and go on a day eating a lot of food, having up to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables in a day. Like with your breakfast, you take fruits and some portion of vegetable. Lunch, you do the same again. Do you understand?
Did you say 7?
Yes, 7 up to 7.
How much is that?
Well,
in this economy?
Yes, you can. You can actually. You can try and use the predominant, the seasonal fruit, for example.
Okay.
Remember, there's orange, there's cucumber, there's garden egg.
Yes.
Understand? Eating more of those things, watermelon. Just check out how you feel when you finish. It's almost akin to when you've exercised. You check out how your body feels. It helps with the secretion of these hormones, positive hormones that help with.
But smoothie is not too much.
It's not
too much. My hormone.
Yes, but
and put it aside.
Yes, and even if it's okay. But if you are blending it, try and leave some fiber that will fill you up. You understand? Don't blend it too much.
Oh, okay. So can leave some lumps.
Yes. Yes, it's just like you taking oranges instead of just drinking the juice. So what happens to all the fiber inside? Eat it.
Oh, and the seed too.
Well, we can try this experiment on the seed.
Okay, thank you. But the watermelon, the seed has some sort of taste if you bite it. It feels like to me that...
I honestly don't know much about the seeds. I heard that it has a smell effect.
Dr. Francis wanted to add something.
Thank you very much. What I just wanted to ask is, even when you're eating food, be moderate about it.
Okay.
Don't overeat.
Okay.
And in summary of what she said, eat food that will not give you fat. You understand? That will, things that will burn the calories in your body, because when the fat in your body becomes much,
yes,
it affects your body, it affects the blood circulation and things like that, and it will also affect your brain. Your brain will go dull.
Right.
So anything we do in life.
Also research into what you are eating. Don't just be swallowing. Because I traveled one time, and Dr. Mimi, the size of the banana, I was like, this banana is looking strange. I snapped it. I still have the picture. I said, why is this banana so big? Because in all those countries, it was actually in Dubai. I'm suspecting that banana was built in one place like that. Because what they call those things now, when the fruits are not natural anymore, GM. Wow. So they're like robots to human beings because they were built in a lab. And they're quite dangerous. Okay, we'd like our speakers to go get the food. All right. We have a few more questions, so I guess we'll continue with those questions after. These are speakers. We should go ahead with our speakers are very hardworking. They are more concerned about mental health than feeding of themselves. Okay, so how can individuals prioritize self-care and make it a sustainable part of their daily routine? Because the thing is, it depends on your kind of work. Do you understand? Sometimes the challenge is the work, how busy the work is. You have a family, you have children, so how do you prioritize? You don't do exercise in the midnight so that you can catch up, so who is helping us with that? Because in this Nigeria, you wake up every day, very fantastic information, coming out. So how do you cope? Once again, it's supplementing.
So I say thank you very much. So
yes,
using the exercise as an example as self-care, we have all agreed that exercise is good. No structure exercise.
Sorry, just a minute.
Thank you. So you put a bit of intensity and you'll be a bit deliberate about this thing you are doing. So you are looking at the set of soap and
sir, mention this dancing while bathing.
yes, you should get the foot support. You put it on your bedroom.
But I don't know risks in dancing while you're bathing where there's water.
You don't have to do a vigorous dance. But just do this.
But some of us, the only dance we know is vigorous now. Somersaults, you know, in the bathroom.
Then what when you are done, when you are creaming your body, you are wearing your clothes, you can
just be dancing. How will we explain to our family members? We just be dancing. Everything we're doing, we're just dancing.
You understand?
As I'm talking now, hello, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to come and do this event. I will be dancing like that.
Now, these are some of the ways you can structure it into your regular life.
Okay.
You understand? Now you are in the office space. You park your car at a bit of distance to the door or to the entrance of the place, and you decide to walk.
Where they will not take it.
Yes, you can. So you don't park it. There are some people that park up to almost to the door of their office.
Then you said something earlier that you can walk to this. You don't have to drive there.
Yes. Yes, you can walk.
Okay.
If you take, even if you are like you are taking a commercial vehicle.
Yes.
Why should the bus stop be almost to your house? Why can't you stop a bit to your house and walk?
Like Princess, you want to travel, walk to the airport.
So why can't you stop just a bit to your house and walk the rest? So it's just about being intentional about this thing.
Okay.
And so just put it into your daily life.
That's how to save the time. Dr. Francis wanted to add something.
Yeah, the whole thing boils down to planning. The person asks that question. As the person plans.
Okay.
You need to plan yourself. You understand?
Have a structure for your deeds.
That's saving.
Wow.
Was it?
True.
And by the time you know it, you see them, and you think they have all the money. No, they don't have all the money. But do we really plan? Plan and factor in. And another thing, that's one way of managing stresses.
Right.
Learn how to say no in a subtle manner, especially when it comes to office.
Okay.
They may be, piling the work on you. Learn how to say no. Know your limit.
True.
Most times we don't know our limit.
True.
We want to prove that we can do it.
Or you want to win an award for
yes,
stuff.
and then you are stressing yourself, you're stressing your body, you're stressing your mental health. So we need to understand all this. Thank you.
So I heard in Japan they have a lot of elderly people, all right, and they're still very agile. Why? Because right from young they've taught them how to structure what they eat, and they are very religious about their food, over there in Japan, and I think it's something we can emulate. It's just that we eat anything, everything. We don't even know the nutrients. The mic.
In this Kaura market by Prince and Princess,
yes,
go there after work from 4 o'clock. You see women drive straight to the market and park. You don't know that you're even making those people to charge you higher. You can park your car, walk down to the place and
then dress now.
Long queue.
Which is they look at you and they just say you have money. Yeah, I also like the part of walking. You want to say something? Yes, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Adding on to what Dr. Francis just said, is more to do with assertiveness, because I've noticed there's a lot of workplace bullying going on in Nigeria. So people need to really be assertive and, let people know their boundaries, even if it's your boss. And then again, Mr. MC, I believe you were the one that was talking about pressing of phones. People that have this issue of just pressing their phones every time, you have to realize it's an addiction. An addiction is an illness. So for those of you that really feel that you must be on your phone every minute, take time out to figure out how you really are feeling.
Do you know how, as we're talking now, some are pressing their phone and listening to what you're saying? And you know, they were talking about the demographics, all right, and we were talking about the Gen Zs. I don't think there's any time that they cannot press phone, whether they are flying in the air or if you could press your phone during exam, they will press. All right, and then adults also, we also do that. Dr. Mimi, go ahead, please.
Okay, I just wanted to say that even if you have, yes, because
that's a lifestyle medicine physician. That's. But where do we find them?
Us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're actually
because the grammar is big.
No, we're specifying it because it's actually a training where you're actually make prescriptions on sleep, make prescriptions on diet, make prescriptions on exercise, and even mental well-being.
Right.
And it's a individual, so nobody's going to be telling you to do something you don't agree and you cannot do. So it's something you work hand in hand with your physician so that you can now make specific changes that are unique to you. Do you understand?
To your lifestyle, to your schedule, to your structure.
Yes.
I see. Okay, thank you, Dr. Please, as you're eating your food, please ensure that you're listening, because there's a lot of information being doled out. Okay, so I have another question.
So there's also the social prescription part of it as well. Yeah.
Sorry, Dr. What did you say?
Social prescription. Yeah.
What's that?
Okay, so if someone has issues like, you know, I spoke about 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine.
Activities for you to move your life. Right. Social prescription. Okay, so I'm sure everybody can see hear me, but we're wrapping up actually. So while you enjoy your food, we just wanted to. Are we going to see? Recording? Yes. Was it recording? Oh, okay. So we have just a bit more. Common mental health myths and misconceptions. Please, our speakers, you have to listen to this. Dr. Mimi. Dr. Mimi. Common mental health myths and misconceptions, and how can we work to reduce stigma around mental illness? That one is large. Where's Dr. Francis? Dr. Francis went to take care of his mental health. Yes, his well-being.
Dr. Mimi, they say no, it's you, so let me start.
Okay, you've gotten the question.
I think I'm loud enough.